All right, everyone. Welcome to A Good Community. And today we're actually meeting one of my teenage idols, Peter Siepen. I remember you.
Still, I hope.
Still, yes, certainly. Peter is a former TV personality. I remember when you were on Zeta TV, a quite wild
youth channel.
Youth channel, definitely.
A little bit like MTV.
A little bit like MTV. And I will. And today you are most of a DJ and a health personality.
Yeah, sort of, yes.
Sort of, yes. And I would like to spark this interview off with. I can just see when I'm looking at you and compare to myself. I look like a guy that works at the funeral shop. And you a bit more colorful.
I work on the other side.
You're on the other side of the funeral shop.
I work actually 6 inches higher than you are.
That I could also agree on. I assume that you buy loads of secondhand.
I do. Actually, the first time I ever bought secondhand, I think I was 16 years old. And my mother was doing the laundry. And suddenly she saw this shirt, wonderful shirt. And she said, "Oh, this shirt is so wonderful. I love it." And then she saw, a name tag in the back. Obviously someone else had it before me. I said, "Oh, disgusting. Where did you get that from?" I bought it from a second-hand shop. That was 19... Have you heard about the 20th century?
Yes, I heard about the 20th century.
Some years ago. So this is like 35 or even maybe more. There was almost no such a thing as a second-hand shopping, and it was a little bit filthy. That was this Starvation Army, their second-hand shop. So I bought this shirt, and ever since I've been kind of buying second-hand stuff. And the good thing with it, you get a unique personality. It's sustainable, and you're unique because when you buy something in a shop that's new, probably someone else is going to have the same shirt or whatever on, and then it becomes, untrendy, or the uniqueness makes it durable as well.
But do you also, when you go to second-hand shop, I can't even name one of them around here. Mm-hmm. I am totally shitless on buying second-hand, which I'm a bit ashamed of. But when you do it, do you also do you treat them? Do you remake them? Or
yeah, it could. Sometimes I put patches on. I can repair them and customize them and make them take them another step towards making them even more unique. And you don't have to be afraid that you make a mistake or something because it's not a new item.
So how much time do you spend on typically finding your daily style?
Not much. I just jump into the wardrobe and
captain hat on.
Captain
white
hat,
glasses.
Whatever you put on, whatever, and then the captain hat on the top, and I'm done.
That gives the spark to everything.
I have to tell you, I was DJing this weekend, and this guy came to me and said, "Do you remember I made this sandwich for you?" Yeah, it was a very good one. Thank you for that one. Could have been like 15, 20 years ago. I've been a DJ now for 30 years. And then he stopped and looked at me. "What happened with you?" Yeah, what happened? I became I'm 56. I'm looking like I'm 55. I'm a father of 2. I feel very good. I don't drink. I have a well-trained body. I'm happy, family father. And
how long have you been a father?
That's 4 years now.
4 years.
So that's what happened. I feel good, and I'm happy with life.
Was that I have 3 kids myself. My oldest one is 10, and then a 4-year-old that's equal age as yours. Was that what happened to you when you became a father?
I became a child again. No, I'm just kidding.
That's all right.
No, what happened? I don't know.
Road.
I'm very easily entertained. I'm actually fat and happy without being fat, which means that I do whatever it takes to keep my happiness alive, and I'm always pleased. I'm with the situation I have, and that was the situation before I had kids. And when I got my 2 kids, that put me in another dimension. I wouldn't say I became so different. Now I'm not the focus on myself. Look at me. Did I lose the focus on myself? No. I'm still, happy with who I am. I take care of myself the same way I did before I got the children. But I have this wonderful another dimension unlimited love that I never experienced before.
And I heard the rumors from your Instagram account that you actually speak English with them. Is that true?
Yeah, it's actually not just a rumor. To be bilingual and speak many languages, it's very good.
But your wife is... She's Swedish as well? Or?
Yeah, she's Swedish. She used to live in London for 16 years. So language is a very good thing to have from early age.
So around the kids, you speak English?
Yeah, we should do it more actually. But she goes to a bilingual English school.
Okay. But why, I understand that everyone understands the factors of that English is important, but what caused you to do, I can speak English fairly good myself, but I have never dreamed about speaking English to my kids as part of life. I never thought about it.
But it came natural because, we realized the importance of being, able to speak a lot of languages, and it's natural because my wife is kind of a second language because she lived in England, London for 16 years. It's when you're gonna go out in life, you got to have languages. You got to believe in yourself. So that's two different facts to have. You got to take part without taking over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. Were you shy as a kid?
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, I'm still a little bit, shy.
I can see maybe you're shy on the inside. I would say that you are sparkling on the outside.
You can practice and you can get rid of it. The shyness could be cute, but it's also dangerous because the surrounding take over your. When you go to a negotiation, that's not a good thing to have if you want to end up with a good salary, for instance.
Do you recall the situation when you decided to shift?
No, it's a progress. You can imagine the most obvious thing when it comes to shyness is when you stand on a stage in front of a lot of people. Then you realize that shyness maybe it's good to leave it at home.
Yeah. So it hinders you in your profession.
So that's that experience to be doing, perform in front of an audience so many times that after a while it becomes natural. But it takes quite a time actually.
But are you still, since I guess that's you put on a stage personality, if you like?
No, I accent my own personality.
Okay. So you notch it up a bit?
Yeah, I think it's a question of believe in yourself. I am good as I am. I'm not the best, but I'm very good. That's my, thinking. Because if I think I'm not the best, but I'm very good, there is still, room to become even better.
Yeah.
And be humble and learn from your, fellow men.
That's cool. I wanted to ask you, you were born 62.
Yeah.
So you are 21 years older than me, obviously.
Yeah.
You look younger though, but that is good. You should also please the ones you are interviewing, right? What do you see today as the biggest challenge we have in society?
Maybe it's the ego thing. People take care of themselves so much, and I've been thinking lately about the ego or the health thing. It's so much about presenting some sort of luck or happiness. I feel good and have not so much material things that changed a little bit on social media, but you got to project that you are so happy and have no problems, sort of, and that makes other young people, they get really stressed, and I also want to be happy. I also want to have this and that. If I get that, I'm going to be happy as well. So I think it's time to change focus about projecting on yourself, and for me, health now is about making other people make a contribution to other people to make them happy. I had this idea: tell 3 unknown people, some sort of flattering, or put them on a pedestal. Say something nice to 3 unknown people.
Do you practice that?
Yeah, I do it, and then it strikes back, and those people's happiness going to come back to you or someone else, and it becomes like a transportation of good energies. For instance, when I work as a DJ, I have this small thing I do. I play Dancing Queen. And,
quite famous ABBA song.
Yeah,
right?
the famous ABBA song, The Dancing Queen. And anybody could be the Dancing Queen. You You don't have to be female to become the dancing queen. So when someone contributes with their energy, it's not about dancing good. It's about being a good person. And when I feel like in this weekend there was one woman, she had so much warmth and a nice personality. So she got the queen crown.
Yeah.
She was the dancing queen.
Oh, so you have that as a sort of an equipment which you can bring on.
So yeah, put the queen on them, and they have this plastic, kind of crown, and I put the crown on and say, "You are the dancing queen," and I tell them why I think so, and they become happy, and everybody else in the audience thinks it's nice as well. So you gotta, give energy, and therefore you can get it back. Yeah. And in Sweden we got this situation called jante, which means when someone in your surrounding is very successful, you're not happy about it, you're jealous. And that one we're going to change a little bit. We're going to be more happy for other people and tell them, well, I'm happy for you. Yeah. You worked so hard or whatever. Tell me give me the tools. Help me. I want to be successful. I also want to learn from your story how you did it. So therefore, maybe we should, change our focus a little bit towards the States.
Do you think life has it been? I could imagine though you are a quite strong personality. You've obviously been doing TV, DJing. I would say that you have come up on your foot on the ground, father of two, and so on. Do you think that people misunderstand you?
No. In the beginning, they still a little bit maybe. But when you do it with a high when you're very convinced that you are good as you are, and you do it for yourself, and you don't look around and what should I do now? What's the trend now? What should I do? What's hip or in now? If you don't care about that, then you're going to be calm and you be convincing. Yeah. It's like when you were gay. Now it's not as bad as when I was a child. You can get attacked, or it was kind of dangerous to be different. If it was about being gay or express yourself. So when I started to dress very, very different when I was like 19, 20 years old, I was very, very scared because the risk. But I was convinced in the beginning. I was scared and uncomfortable with the thing. I couldn't understand where did I get those ideas from. How could I? Why do I wear a pink hat suddenly? Why do I wear a jacket with a flower furnishing material? You tell me. But I had this inner strength or belief that this is the right thing for me. So now I've been doing it for 35 years. And it's been a nice trip.
Have you become more and more extreme, or did you come up to a fast extreme level and you stay there?
Not in daily life maybe, but when I DJ, I have this, for instance, this tight overall, looks like a bobsleigh overall, which is, when I got it, I bought it in Marbella a few weeks ago. When I have this kind of overall, this suit on me, I feel like a superhero. I feel very strong, and therefore I went back and bought another one in the shop. So I have two of this superhero.
That's good. If someone is if anyone has him in the washing machine, you can still be positive.
And it's very easy to wash. It doesn't take much space in the laundry machine, and I give the audience a good because entertainment is not only about when you talk about DJing, it's not about playing the right songs. It's the whole packaging, energy. See the audience, ask what do you want to hear, putting on these clothes, sing along, packaging the whole experience. And in this goal, the overall place takes a big part.
How did you land it in becoming a DJ?
That was kind of not a coincidence. When I was 16, 17 years old, I built in my boy room. I built my own speakers. I couldn't afford the Technics 1200 was this expensive, where you can change the speed of the record. So I had to buy the budget one and do it by hand. But I had the stuff. I was practicing at home, and suddenly when was that? Like 10 years later, I was asked on the street, you want to be a TV presenter? Yes, I can be the TV presenter.
Was that for Estrad? Or was
that was sad television actually even before. It was in the late 80s in Sweden. We had only 2 kind of black and white TV channels, when I was in when that all changed. It was a great guy, or what do you call it? Innovation guy, Jan Stenbeck.
Yeah.
He all changed that.
Quite progressive guy, right?
Yeah, very progressive. He changed that. He started a lot of channels. One of them was Sad Television Youth Channel, kind of MTV. So I became a TV personality, became famous, and then when you're famous, people want to put you in interviews and stuff, and I say, hey, I want to be more famous. Let roll and film more. And I was going to nightclubs just to do walk around and show myself off, and I didn't really feel comfortable with that. I want to give something back to the audience. So then I asked, maybe when I'm here, at that time there was CD records.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about it, CD records.
I've seen pictures.
I was like first came the vinyl record, then it came the CD, like that. And now you can't see the music anymore because it's like digital. And I played CDs and did it very well. So that was in the beginning actually of the 90s. This is time runs fast. Is that 30 years ago almost? Yeah.
It almost ends up to 30
as
years.
old
If
as
you
you
study
are.
in the 90s, yes.
So when you were a child, screaming with a with a dummy in your mouth, then I was DJing in the nightclubs.
And ever since?
Yeah, ever since. So that's why I became a DJ. And I love it. I've been doing it for 30 years and it's getting more and more fun.
But when you are doing it, assuming now, I have never seen one of your shows, which I'm a bit sad of. I hope that we can find after this an arrangement where I could do. It seems to me that you are giving loads to the audience.
Yes.
Do you sometimes feel that you get a connection back from them?
Yeah, always.
Not in the sense
Always.
of just in there. But
I'm the only DJ in Sweden or in the world that leaves kind of a dance warranty, which means if the employer, the one who hires me, if the crowd doesn't dance, they get the money back. So it's a money back guarantee. No
Fairly
dance,
nice.
no pay.
Do they often come up and speak about other things? It seems that you're also quite open in the sense of everything.
Yeah, one thing that happens, it's like in this weekend there was one guy with a gay, maybe, I don't know, doesn't matter. He had this leopard kind of long sleeved shirt under his t-shirt, and he said how much it meant to me, that I meant to him during his youth or childhood, being the right to being yourself. The surrounding or where you live and so on can kind of put limits, but he said I made him limitless. So I think it's a nice reward.
Is it sometimes, since I guess that you can only speak to the crowd between the songs, so you have like 3 minutes to integrate with them? If they come up to your, say that they come up to the booth.
But I can play like this.
Okay.
I speak at the same. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you play perfect. If it becomes a break, then I just talk a little bit and
Do you sometimes continue the conversations with the people after you're done with your set?
Yeah, sometimes I could be quite long after the set, speaking, and they have to drag the people out from the nightclub and so.
Do you remember one call or something that has been fascinating? I guess if you are open, people open up to you.
Yeah.
Can you recall?
One thing that happened was on the train. She started quite fast. It's about making yourself interesting. That was a woman. She said, "I just came out of jail." I go like, huh?
Nice. Cell phones in.
Nice.
Watch off.
Okay.
When was this? Was it this weekend?
No, that was a few years ago.
Okay.
But people say funny things sometimes. As long as you're yourself.
And what happened with that entry?
No, that was, the instinct. I want to be alive after this conversation kind of thing kicked in, but here I am, still alive.
Still alive. But what happens if you integrate with someone and they open up to you? Do you then take time after the set and speak with them, or how do you?
Yeah, I think of course I'm not a therapist, or I cannot spend my life, speaking. But I try to boost, and there's no such a nice thing when you just look someone in the eyes, listen a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not about you being good at if you're a therapist or whatever. It's about being there, listen, be a good fellow man. I think that's quite enough sometimes.
Yeah. What do you see is I asked you about the biggest challenge before, but what do you see is the biggest opportunity we have in terms of the society?
To make tomorrow a better day is the biggest opportunity. We can never be good enough. There's always something else we can do to make a change.
Yeah.
And the thoughts are the first step. And there is hope. I was at the you call it Årbaden. It's a spa resort, and the theme of the meeting was the Swedish Jante law. That was the theme, and among the crowd we had the Swedish actor Peter Siepen, and he kind of gave up on this Swedish mentality. I don't think we should do that. We should we can always, there's always hope, and everyone can do not a lot or a lot or whatever you can. Everybody has to take the responsibility and take the first step to make a change. For instance, I work as a DJ on the student cruises, thousands of students going on a cruise, and we collect them all together and say, if you want to have the party, you got to be the center of it. Take responsible for your own acts and make a change. And
people blend in both giving them a dance warranty, but also giving them maybe some advices then.
Yeah, try to. But I think a good advice is just being who you are and be yourself. You don't have to speak so much, just being yourself. They don't know, now it's been such a long time I was in television, like over 10 years, so they have no relation, they don't know who I am. But afterwards, they go like, he's like 56, looks like 55. How's that possible? Yeah, he's been probably not drinking like I'm going to do in this 24-hour cruise. Yeah. He's maybe did a push-up once in a while. He's been nice to someone else. He had good thoughts. Bad thoughts, or if you're an evil person, that makes you ugly, I think, when it comes to charisma. So if you're a good person, saying nice things to your fellow men, you train a little bit, take care of yourself. That's going to make a good, you're going to have a good aura, and you have the karma thing. And the karma thing is, I think it's such an important thing, to transport good karma all the time. And that's inspiring, I think.
Yeah. Do you have, I guess that you've always been into health and taking care of yourself and be restricted with alcohol as well.
Yeah.
How do you, I guess that I take care of myself as well, and I have 3 kids, but I always find time to...
You have a responsibility when you have kids.
Especially to be fresh and prioritize training and so on. What do you think about the people that says, I cannot find time due to have small kids? What do you, since you obviously find time to train, even though that you have 2 small kids? What's the best tip and advice for that?
The best tips is everything you do, or you deserve, or decide not to do, is an active decision. So if I know I train, if I don't do it, it's an active decision towards feeling and looking worse. So do I want to make an active decision, being lazy, not having positive thoughts, which is the effect if you decide not to train. So that's the main thing. I tell myself I want to train because I want to be a more active personality. I want to look good. I want to have good thoughts. I want to be positive. I want to be able in the future to stand in front of myself in a mirror or someone else and look like I do. So I make the active decision to train, and then when I actually train, this is the one main thing that makes a big difference. Listen to music that inspires you, that give you energy and pump to motivate you.
And
so good thoughts and good music. That's my main thing.
And where do you train?
I train at home.
At home?
At home.
But I also seen you in Vasa Park and training.
Yeah, correct.
Which is like
outdoor training is the
200
best.
meters, yes.
Yeah, the outdoor training is the best. If I can do it, I want to do it. But that's to be able to not have only one place where you can train, to make the place where you are your arena for training, wherever and whenever you are.
Yeah.
You should always be able to train, and that's a very, very good thing. So when I travel, I have this little bag with a rubber band, blah, 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 so I can train when or wherever.
And do you train every day?
I train every second day.
Every second day.
So maybe we can get a close up here, so we can show the camera. One guy asked, when you're on vacation, do you train when you're on vacation? Yeah, it happens. It happens once in a while. That's so good to be able to, because if you're on vacation, whatever 2 weeks, and you don't train, you have to start over again.
Yeah.
And that can be the difference that you can motivate yourself to start again. So can you say regularity?
Yeah.
That you get it done.
Consistency, maybe.
Consistency is a good word. And that's what we're talking about also. Yeah. Consistency.
So you never skip. If you train. Do you train 7 days a week?
No, every next day. So
every next
3.5 days per week.
3.5 days, and you never skip one of them.
No. Yeah, it could happen when I work too much or whatever. I don't get the time. Then I just jump up one day and I take the next day. So it's a good flow. I don't have to take care of a certain specific time. There you have to train, or you have to go to a certain group or local. I'm without boundaries.
So you always find the time.
Yes.
How good are you? I can feel from other people. I myself trained for the marathon, and I found it very peaceful to just be out very long. To eventually, the first hour is horrible, but then I come into a mindful set, and I can think about progressive things. 50, 20 years, I can think about my childhood and so on.
Yeah.
How do you?
It's like what you're describing is a little bit like meditation. Almost,
yes, and then I can run for 2 more hours without thinking about running.
But control your thoughts, sort of.
Sort of, yes. How do you, even though I guess to be in the shape you are, you have to come into position when you are actually training that you really push yourself to the limit. It's not enough to do 5 push-ups.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking about, do this few extra, reps, or what do you call it? And I try to do that. I try to do the little extra one. It's kind of, is it fun to train? Yeah, could be if you try to think positive or you have good music, but doing the same for like 35 years or whatever, it's not so funny.
Yeah.
But the result is funny, the way you look and the way your mind is. That's the funny. So you have to visualize one step behind. Now this very popular on television right now. A Swedish guy, I don't know his name, kind of a brain.
It's like let's define him as a brain helper.
Mr. Brain Helper. He's taking care of your brain, taking over your brain. And he says what you're doing actually, this when you run and doing this kind of things, is the best thing you can do for your brain. So I don't do that much, but I'm in daily basis. I take the bicycle back and forth with my daughter to the school, and I try to walk and have a very active daily lifestyle. Think about my posture, the way I stand, and stuff like that. Yeah, so you do a good thing there.
I think so, and I always I got it as a present from my wife. It's a 35-year-old present, and I always hated running, but I'm always up for the challenge. And now I find I haven't found this mental part of training anywhere else. If you train for 1 hour, and maybe I'm too stupid to come into that mode, but I've been training for like 3 hours. Eventually, my brain maybe is like a rescue plan for the brain.
Yeah.
But I see this. It's really fascinating to come into this special mode and release those kind of doors inside of you which you weren't aware of that I even had. I always see myself a quite easy
limitless
guy. Yeah, and it's really fascinating, which I then can spark into what you are saying about training and health, and so it's more about but the mental part is as equally important as the physical. We took a little break here due to some tech-related issues from the cameraman. Thank you very much for that. Totally kicking off the conversation. I wanted to ask you, Peter, if you segue forward 10 years and you should give yourself...
That's not going to be with the scooter with a battery.
No, it's not going to be a scooter with a battery. No electronic scooter with a battery. But if you're overlooking in 10 years, what will be the greatest achievement for you those next 10 years?
To continue and be myself. Boring question. No, but still the greatest achievement. Maybe using this jacket for another 20 years. It's a second-hand jacket. I had it for 20 years. Bought it in Hungary for like $30, and gets good value for money.
That you can tell
when I use it so much.
But though respect, I had a little tip-off with that question. If you should then draw back time 10 years, would it be any type of advice you will give your mature Peter now for the Peter 10 years ago?
I think one good thing is all the knowledge is just a click away. Don't make yourself irresponsible. You're irresponsible for all your actions. So if there's something you don't understand, just go to the web and there's tutorials for everything.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube and you learn everything. There was this woman, she built her own house in 3 years. A woman of 3, she had 3 children. So everything can be, all the solutions are on YouTube. And use common sense. Take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah. And if you would give one lesson to your kids, or maybe your kids' friends at kindergarten, what will that be?
Be kind to each other, and go out in nature. Pick up your garbage. Don't throw garbage on the street. Be nice to your parents. Is another good one.
That's also very important. All right, Peter, thank you very much for the time.
Anders,
it's been
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Pure pleasure. And sometimes maybe we can go and practice in the Vasaparken together.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.